How's it? My name is Kelly and welcome to my home studio. On my channel, I like to do planner videos, DIYs, mixed media, arts and crafts, lifestyle, occasionally, and hauls and happy mail. So, without further ado, today I am going to share with you a fun thing. It's a crafty thing. Yay! I love paper, so I thought I would do a little paper craft. And this is not a new concept. I'm not claiming it as my idea. There are many people here on YouTube that have done it. And I am going to make just tea envelopes so I can give them to some of the people in my life. I like doing that. It's just like a rack, you know. That's just how I am. So, I have a few things. I have some tea. This just so happens to be the Harney & Sons tea bags that I got off their website. I might use these. I might use a different one. It just depends. There are all sorts of flavors in here. It's good tea. So I have that out and handy. But I might put some other tea, like I said, so we'll see. And then I thought I would try out for the first time my Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive Clear Drying Craft Glue. I did a haul on this last year. I will link the playlist to my planner supplies, as I call it, and I've never tried it yet. So I wanted to give it a go. Cute packaging, just like the Nuvo drops. I think it's gorgeous. So I have that out. I also have this planner glue pen out from Hobby Lobby or Amazon. You can get them in both locations. So it's just a glue, basically like your Dollar Tree glue stick. And then I have some paper. Well, this is how I store my scraps. Okay, I have a whole bunch of these, and I have larger ones. This just so happens to be an Erin Condren tray. I have 2 of these. And then I have larger size acrylic trays. It's a funny story, actually. My friend and I went to all of our Targets several years ago now. And I think it was, I want to say 2013 we did that. 2014. It was a long time ago, and we've cleaned them out of all of their trays, and some of them were cracked, but they're just like this, but they're twice the size. Like if this was facing this way, they're twice the size of this, so that's how I store my scraps, so I can just throw them in there, and then I just put this box in here. This is just so happens to be for my Hobonichi Techo 5-year cousin, and inside here, I subscribe to the Planner Society, and I used to subscribe to Cocoa Daisy, so they come with, some of the products come on these cute little cardstock boards. So actually this doesn't belong in here because I have one specifically, I think, for Cocoa Daisy. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I digress. So I like to use these scraps because, look at this. I mean, that is so cute. And she had paper like this and several things and vellum. So for this project, I thought I would go ahead and utilize this. So why not? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful. So I have that handy right here beside me. And I'm just going to slide it in to this little section. Now, I don't keep it right here all the time. I just pull out what I need for whatever craft I'm doing. And I keep it over there in Michael's paper trays. So I can just pull it out whichever, if I'm working at my desk or my project table, which is over there, or if I'm working, just sitting in the chair, having it on the ottoman, chilling, or over there on my couch with the coffee table, whatever, you know, just depends on how I want to roll. But anyway, and then let's do this first. I just pulled out a couple of different 12 by 12 paper pads. These are both from Michaels. They are the Hot Buy paper. Even that says it right there. I don't think you can get these online, unfortunately. Now, regular price, these are $19.99 each. I never, ever, ever buy them for that price. That is absurd. I don't know why they just don't keep it at the same price all the time, but they don't. You know how it is. So, these go on. They used to be $5, now they're $5.99. And then if you use an additional 20% off, there you go. So, this is from last year, not even this year. I just like them, and I'm just going to pull, oh Lord, some papers out of here, and that's that. Okay, and then I have my Martha Stewart scoreboard. I have both sizes, the large and this one. I mean, the large and the mini one. Just depending on what I'm doing and convenience. So I pulled this large one out since we are working with the 12 by 12 paper, and this comes with, oh, it's not in here. I'm using it somewhere. But it comes with a bone folder, and this little guide here pops right out. So, okay, so I couldn't find it, and I might have let my friend borrow it because she was doing a project too a couple years ago. She probably has it in her stash and probably doesn't even realize it because I haven't used this crease board in a couple years. So anyway, for this I will just use this little tool here. It's kind of like an owl, but it's a creaser. Has a ball on either end, and then here is a We Are Memory Keepers bone folder. I think this came in like one of the punch boards I have, so I can use either one of those. And then I have a pair of scissors. These just so happen to be the Tim Holtz ones. And then I have a couple of punches here. This is a 1.5 inch scallop, and this is a 1 inch, and this is what they look like when they are punched, as an example. And then I have some stamps. So, the stamps that I picked out, since I am dealing with tea, I thought, these are all Ellie Edwards, I like her. I thought I would use this kettle right here. So cute. This is the tea kettle. So I thought I would use that for this particular project. And then I have some sentiments. I might end up using this one that says The Story. I like to be myself, and I don't want to have the same old ho-hum-drum sayings that everybody uses. So I just pulled a few stamps, and we'll see which one I end up using. This happens to be a one little word stamp set. This is the story stamp. So we'll see. And I really like this one in particular. It says Perfectly Imperfect, and it's a round shape. So I might use that one. So we'll see how it pans out. And then I also pulled a few more things. So I might use them and I might not. So I'm just going to leave it as is and see where this takes me. Okay? Okay, so in order to make this easier for myself, I went ahead and I scored the paper how I want it. And basically what you want to do is measure your tea bag for your little pouches. Okay? So, I'm using the measurements 3 3/4 by 9 3/4 for this is 12 by 12 standard scrapbooking paper. or scrapbook paper. Okay, but I scored it, like I said, on my measurements because I want to have certain scrap pieces left over, so I'm going to do it a little differently, just so, because I want to have this nice long strip, and I have 3 pieces of paper. I have 3 pieces of paper under here, so that way I have the strips that I want. So hopefully my measurements are spot on. And now I have leftover paper in strips like this. Now this is not going to be used for this tutorial, but I do like having them in these strips so I can use these for other purposes. Okay, you guys do how you want. And then the rest of this is the leftover on this side. And we are going to use that. So, in these measurements, I just watched a couple videos on YouTube, and I just used the same measurements. I do believe her name is Lyric something. But she's been on YouTube a while. I watched her December Daily years ago. Her little album. It's like a cute little cheapo way to do the December Daily without breaking the bank, which I think is awesome. And that was the first video I watched of hers. So, in any event, these are her measurements. And this is based off of her tutorial from several years back. And she does craft fairs and all that kind of stuff. But these are just gifts that I'm doing for the people in my life. I just like to do that. As a surprise, you know. Because I think it's thoughtful. Okay, and now I am going to use these. Now you can cut these if you want, or leave them whole. It really makes no difference because you're only going to use part of that. Unless you're going to use something else for the scraps. Now this is the main component that we want to utilize. I don't know if you can see the score lines on there, but you'll see it in a minute. So, these will make the pouches. But anyway, you guys can cut it any old way you want, but I just like to have my pieces the way I like them. So that's why I do it like that. And I like to do 3 at a time. Hopefully it'll all work out fine. Now these are our main components here. And I have 2 different stacks that I'm doing because I'm going to make several of these. I just think they're quite lovely. And for this time of year, I mean any time of year, tea is always good. So, in my opinion, that you can put anything in these packets, really. Okay. So, this... Oh, Lord. One of the packets is short. Okay. That's a boo-boo, but that's okay. Let's see if it'll fit the tea anyway. Oh, cool. Okay, it still fits the tea bags. So my measurements were off on one of them. Oops. But this will still work because this will fit right in. This tea bag will fit right in this pouch. So I'm not going to beat myself up over that. But this is the size that you want. I'll need that. It stays on anyway. So these are supposed to be 3 1/4. And these are 4 inches. Oh no, that's right. 3 1/4. What are these? And these ended up being 3 and almost 2/4. So you know, it works. And this is by 10. And it's supposed to be 9 3/4, which this one is. This stack is right. So, actually, yeah, they're all 9 3/4. Okay. Which is fine. So that works out. So I'm just gonna, I have another stack that I'm gonna do. And I'm going to change my measurements so I can cut them out all exactly the same. So this is my other stack. So I shall return once I'm done with that. Okay, so none of these are double-sided. So these are going to be super thick and very luxurious feeling. So what I'm just going to do is I am going to glue it. I'm going to use the Nuva glue. Try that first and see how it fares. And then just glue all of these together. Okay. And I put my craft mat down. Very nice. So I am going to burnish this so the glue sticks, as it were. Just use this bone folder to do that. Just like so. Because you don't want that glue coming out, see? Which is fine to have it come out a little bit, but you know, I want this to be able to stand the test of time because people will probably, you know, drink tea, but they'll keep it because it's cute. I would. You can also use a roller like this one that I just so happen to have. It's We Are Memory Keepers. And you can burnish just like that. That's easier, actually. If you happen to have it. You don't really need it. Okay, so I'm going to just... Here's the other side. I'm just going to glue, and then I'll be back once I am all finished. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to score. You can use this. I prefer this. And I use the small little end. This is just from Hobby Lobby. You can buy this anywhere, I'm sure. Ben Franklin's, Walmart. Okay. So I've glued all my pages. Alright? Now what I want to do is I want to score this. And according to the tutorial that I watched, and I will link it below, and the gal's channel. So, who I've been watching for, you know, I watched that video on her December daily, like I said, years ago. No. I don't remember what year it was. But in any event, so you go to 3 3/4 and you score it. There it is. And you run it down. This just makes it easier so you can fold it. Then you flip your paper around so you can measure, and you do the same thing. 3, this is half, 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4. And you score it. Okay, so I'm going to do that to all my papers. And essentially, what that does is it'll make a fold. Okay, so I shall return. Okay, guys, so essentially what you're going to end up with is a little booklet like this. Okay? I made a couple just for me. I'll keep the ones that are wonky. But I happen to like handmade, the handmade look. And some odd reason I ended up with not having a back for this. So I used all the little pieces, and this is my little patchwork one. And that's the front. And obviously it took a lot of glue, so the paper ripped because the glue was still wet when I was gluing it. So I just added the Wizard of Oz washi and a little Planner Society washi for my scraps, which are hanging right there because they need to go into my patchwork cart, but when they're out like that, I just use them. So I'm going to do this to the rest of these, and this is one of the short ones because, let's see, two of the ones ended up short. So I have one more, and I'll keep that for me too, which is fine. And then I'm just gonna basically score the rest of these and fold them up, and then I shall be back. And I like using this sprayer to bone fold, basically crease in, especially when the glue is wet. I find that it, like this paper, since it ripped right here, which is why I use the washi, it doesn't rip it. So that's just a little tip for you. And I, of course, I'm going to keep the wonky ones for myself, and those will just be my prototype, my template, if you will, my example, and the best ones are the ones that I will give out to my friends, just as a little, you know, surprise. I like doing that. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, so I have a whole bunch done, and now the next step is, and this is mine, this one is mine that I'm going to keep, because I have all kinds of, I like it, personally, this is my favorite one actually, but I don't know, other people might not like it. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is take a pair of scissors, and I am going to get a longer pair, I think. And I'm just going to cut a triangle from here to here. It doesn't have to be exact or anything like that, because we are perfectly imperfect. So there's that. Let me just make sure I have this right. Yeah. Okay. That is my inside piece. So I'm just cutting this triangle. Just like that. And there she wrote. That's all she wrote. Okay. And there you have the pocket that you slide the tea in, just like that. So I'm going to glue this, and you can do two methods of gluing. Okay guys, so the other thing I also wanted to mention is that you can use these, and I'm going to also, to put the powdered apple cider as a gift in these, as well as hot cocoa. The sky is the limit. You could even put washi tape, you know, the washi tape on the credit card type of thing, like samples to carry around or whatever. You could do that also. The sky is the limit, really. So anyway, back to the adhesive. So you can run wet glue under it. You could put score tape under this to glue it, which I have that in a drawer somewhere in my studio, as it were. You could use red line tape. And I think what I'm going to do is I'll just use some Nuvo and maybe some red line tape and just go to town. And I shall return. Oh, well, I'll show you one. So you just take a little bit of the glue, and this has a very nice applicator. Of course it does. I mean, the lid is even gorgeous, can you not? And just run it around along the bottom right there. And then just glue it down. just fold it back over and then glue it down. Just like that. Now you can put binder clips on here too. That way you, focus, sweetheart. That way you can hold it shut until it dries. You could also dry it with your heated craft tool. So really, the sky is the limit. So I'm just going to glue all these down, and then I will see you on the flip side. Okay, I have cut out a bunch of die cuts with this punch, or this thick framelit, and I used different colored paper. I cut out acorns and leaves, and now, and you don't have to do that, that's strictly decorative. So now what I want to do is just show you the main squeeze. I also labeled this. I have one that says bottom now. I'm using my Sizzix Tim Holtz Sidekick. So I label that the bottom. So it goes down like that. And that's the top. But I've cut on all sides. Oh well. That's life. And then you just place it on here like this. And this is able to handle 4-ply, because I'm just going to bend it like I did before. Cut it just like so, and that way I don't have to do it as much, because this is taking quite some time to do. As it turns out. And then you just place the cut side like that. Put it on your plate. It's easier to fish it through the machine for me, so I just start it from that, sort of, not from the beginning. And then I have labeled this top, because it was just such giving me a headache and a pain in my ocole when I was doing, like, picking out the little tops of these. And I would take this off, and then I would start doing this, and I just put it any old way, you know? And then I didn't know which way it was supposed to go. So this will take 4-ply. I don't think it's meant for that, but that's what I've been doing. And that is it. So we have, oh, this must be thicker. This pound of paper is thicker, this cardstock, than the other one. So it was only able to handle 2, which is fine. So I'll just go 2 at a time. When I'm done, I shall return. Okay, so now I am going to cut these scallops out. I decided to get a 2-inch scallop punch out and use that instead of the 1.5 one, which is right here beside me. I just think it'll look better, a little bigger. And I'm just cutting a bunch of these out. This is part of the leftover paper. 6, 7, and that's it for this paper. And then, let's see, how about this one? Cleaning up after all that die cutting. Woo! Okay. So let me just double check how many. I have 2 of those. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I need 10 of these, because that's how many I made. 9. And 10. Okay, now for the other ones, I will be using a different punch. Okay, and then for this one, I decided to use a 1.5-inch punch instead of the 1-inch punch. So I just have a circle punch here, and I need 10 of those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I have to cut that, which is fine. Hopefully there'll be enough room on this paper. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Just by the hair on my chinny chin chin, we made it. Styling. Okay, so next I'm going to just round the corners, and I prefer this. I have the We Are Memory Keepers corner trumper, but this is Katomaru Pro, and Catherine Plans turned me onto this a few years back. Works like a champ. I love it. So I am just going to round the corners, and then I shall return. Okay, so this could not fit through the double layer on this side of the folded side, so I did pull out my We Are Memory Keepers, and I have the one out that's stub and scallop. They come in a variety of different ways, as you know. So we're doing the scallops on the edges, which is fine, totally and completely cute, like none other. Okay, so that's what it looks like. That is the scalloped edge here and here. I think it's cute. Okay, so I'm going to finish up and I shall return. Okay, so next I want to do my stamping, and I have 2 different stamp sets. It was so hard to choose, but I found a sentiment that was cute. And universal, it says, "A little something for you." And this is made by Lawn Fawn. And these are the tiny tag sayings. And these actually have a set of framelits that go with it, but I used the other one, like I said. And then this is an Allie Edwards one from this year's Week in the Life. And it has a tea kettle. So I chose that one. So I have my Stays on ink. And I will do all of my tea kettles first, then all of my sentiments. But I want to do a tester. Okay, looks good. So this goes on the very outside. So I am just going to stamp it, hopefully in the middle. Just like that. Okay, very cute. All right, and then I will show you one of the sentiments. Okay, it's super easy. And this goes on the inside. So I'm going to do all my stamping, and then I'll be back. Okay, so next up I have the ribbon, and I've had this ribbon for many years. It's just some lace. I use it all the time. I was wrapping presents one year, and Hallie Girl, one of my Susus, she drew all over this. Drew Hallie, JB, because we used to call Jaybird, well, we always do call Jonathan Jaybird, so, like, naked as a Jaybird, you know? And she drew a kitty cat and a princess, of course. So anyway, that's beside the point. So I am not going to measure. I am just going to eyeball. Well, actually, I might measure because I do not want to have to redo this. I want 5 inches over the edge. So whatever that turns out to be, about 5 inches, you know, on both sides. And that way I can tie a bow. So like this big. Okay, so now for the rest of the cutting, what I will do is I will cut them all out first, and then I will adhere them. And then I will use this as my measuring guide. Okay, so for this I'm just going to use some red line tape, or you can use your ATG gun. I have one there, but I'll just use this red line tape. It is easy and it sticks super good. So I just eyeball it down the middle. Just like that. Oops, you have to be careful. I mean, this pulls up your backdrop. And then I'll just peel this quick. You can use whatever adhesive you want, but oops, I did not push that in. As long as it sticks, you're okay. Okay, then just peel that off, and then take a piece of ribbon. Now this is scalloped, so I want to make sure the scallops are down. That's how I like it. And I just fold it in half. These are all different sizes because I get longer. But if you fold it in half, you'll be sure to have the same length on either side, and then just stick it down. And then that's it. Okay, now this one is mine, so if it's a little crooked, it's okay. So there you have that part. So I'm going to do all of the rest. Okay, I'm all done with that. So now I am going to adhere my scallop and my teapot, and I'm going to use this pop-up tape. This is just from the Dollar Tree. It works just the same, and it's a good value. So, of course, that's what I'm all about, is value. So I am going to use the most economical for this part. Okay? Now, you just peel it. And then both sides will be sticky. Okay? I think we're going to try it. Since this one's mine, I'm going to put it on the scallop. Just like so, in the middle. And I think I'm going to try a piece on the back of that as well. Why not? Okay. Now we have that part down, so you just peel the other side. All right. And that makes it look cute and gives it dimension. Okay, just like that. So then, that is so cute. Might even do that on the inside. You can make it flat, or you can use the pop-up tape. I'm going to try it since this is my prototype, since it's mine. Doesn't matter. Okay. I kind of like that too on the inside. Now, this is lace, so the tape, you can feel it slightly, but that'll wear down over time. And I could put another thin layer of ribbon around it. So I'm going to do the rest of these and then I'll be back. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this. I am all about working smarter, not harder. So I have peeled up the tape. Now both sides are sticky, so all you have to do is cut a piece, and then you don't have to spend all that time peeling. So I just wanted to share that tip with you. Because it's much faster like that. Okay guys, so I have them all done now. So I'll just show you. So this is the one I'm keeping, and you can see that this circle is bigger. So I have the tea kettle, and I like it with the pop-up tape. And it says a little something for you. And then you put your tea in, and that's the back, and then you tie it up. Okay, so I'll just show you all the ones quickly that I did. I made 10. Now the ones that are messed up, I'll just keep. So this was quite an undertaking, actually. Took me all day just to do 10, but it was fun. I think these are turned out super cute. I mean, the more you do them, the more tricks that you learn. Like, I started cutting out the kettles, that way this scrapbook paper would shine bright through that, as opposed to my prototype. Cute. Just all different ones. And that other paper did not make it in the cut. The Planner Society boards that the things come on. So there's that. And then, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill each one with tea or apple cider or hot cocoa. And then the ones that have tea, I will put these lavender honey spoons in, and these are delicious. I get these at Home Goods. They do have a website, so these are like my favorite. So I will return. Okay, and I do want to reiterate the website. This is melvillecandycompany.com, and that's MELVILLE. Okay, so you can buy these in bulk on the internet in all different flavors. This one just so happens to be lavender, but they also have coffee spoons and all different kinds of things. Just, you can buy it on Amazon or that website. So you just get your tea of choice. This is Harney and Sons. Pick your tea. I have Earl Grey for me. You just put that right in. And let's see, how is this going to work? These are bulky. I suppose Okay, this is what I'll do. This is rather bulky, so what I will do is I will tie it on to the ribbon, and it comes already tied, so I will just tie one onto the ribbon with the twisty tie that it comes with, which is fine. To attach it. So I just, as you can see, I strung in my ribbon, and I'm just twisting it like that. Okay. And then you just tie it off. Now you can make a bow or you don't have to make a bow. That is up to you. Okay. So there you have it. And then this is attached on the back, just like that. Okay. Okay, one thing that you could do to accommodate these spoons is just make your papers a little bit longer horizontally, and that will accommodate the spoon inside the pouch. And you could make your pouch obviously longer as well, so you can adjust the measurements to your liking. So this is my prototype, and I just decided to tie it on there. And it's fine. You could also wrap this up in a nice cellophane bag. You could put it in a teacup, as you like. So I have 10 of these, and these 4 I have made. This is mine since it's messed up, and it's the prototype, but it's still cute. I hope that if you guys enjoyed this tutorial, you consider subscribing to my channel, and I hope that it inspires you to go out there and do some random acts of kindness. All right, guys. Thank you ever so kindly for watching, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Peace.